All right, here we are, Little Legends, The Spell Thief, Chapter 3. It's titled Web of Distrust. Once everyone had climbed down, Rapunzel wrapped her hair around a tree trunk and swung down to the path in seconds. With a quick shake of her head, her hair released the trunk and tied itself into a neat braid behind her. "Your hair is amazing," said Rapunzel. "I know," replied Rapunzel with a grin. Staying out of sight, the five friends followed the mysterious boy as he darted through the woods toward Tailtown. "He's so fast!" exclaimed Red. "He's not that fast," muttered Jack, although he was starting to feel a little tired out. Before long, everyone else had fallen behind, and it was just Jack and Red chasing the distant figure. Suddenly, the boy shot upward into the leaves of an overhead tree. "Hey!" said Red, skidding to a halt. "Where did he go?" "I don't know," whispered Jack, his heart pounding in his ears. A twig snapped, and the two friends spun around. There was the boy they'd been chasing. He was leaning against a tree behind them, twiddling a leaf between his fingers. "So," said the boy, confident smile flashing across his face. "I was just wondering, why are you following me?" We were, Red looked over to Jack for help. Jack narrowed his eyes. "Why were you sneaking off the boat?" he asked. "Good question," exclaimed the boy. "Maybe I'm a stowaway. Or it could be that I'm a visiting prince from a distant land sent here to buy your town. Or perhaps I'm just staying here on vacation with my uncle. You can decide which." At that moment, Rapunzel, Hansel, and Gretel burst into the clearing, puffing and panting. "What?" exclaimed Rapunzel. "Who?" began Hansel. "We don't know," said Jack. "That's exactly the point. Who are you?" "Oh, that's easy," replied the boy. "I'm me, of course, which means that you must be you, and these people here," he pointed at Red, Rapunzel, and the twins, "must be them. So now that we're all friends, how about you show me the quickest way into town?" Red and Rapunzel smiled, but Jack was still looking sternly at the boy. "Come on, Jack," said Red. "Give him a chance." She turned to face the stranger. "I'm Red. This is Rapunzel. The twins are Hansel and Gretel, and our grumpy friend here is Jack." Jack sighed. There was something about this boy that made him feel uneasy, but he didn't want to upset Red. He looked at his feet, lifted one hand, and muttered, "All right." "Well, seeing as we're doing things properly," said the boy, "my name is Anansi. I come from far, far away, and I'm staying here with my uncle for a vacation. Nice to meet you all," he added with a grin, looking Jack straight in the eye. "Nice to meet you too," said Red. "So how did you manage to climb that tree so fast?" Anansi grinned. "With a little help from my friends." He raised his arms and made a funny clicking noise in the back of his throat. Two large spiders dropped down from the branches above on delicate lines of spider silk. Anansi grabbed hold of the narrow threads with a flick of his wrist and was sent flying up into the treetops. "Whoa now," said Hansel. "That was cool," finished Gretel. Jack nodded to himself. It was pretty cool. He peered up into the leaves and was surprised to see a small imp straddling a branch. Imps didn't usually venture this close to Tailtown. They lived out in the dark, gloomy forest a few miles to the west. They weren't evil, but could often be mean-spirited and untrustworthy. Jack was just about to point the imp out to the others when he saw that Anansi was on the same branch and was saying something to it. Jack squinted more closely. Anansi nodded his head, and the imp leapt away, its tiny body scampering easily over the narrow branches. "Did anyone else see that?" exclaimed Jack, looking around at his friends, but nobody was listening. They were all staring up as Anansi lowered himself from the branches. He was hanging upside down from one tiny, almost invisible thread. "Is that magic?" whispered Hansel and Gretel. Anansi laughed, his warm, friendly laugh. "I don't think so. I've always been able to do it. Spiders just seem to like me." He made the clicking noise in the back of his throat again, and the clearing filled with all sorts of spiders that scuttled toward him. "Wow," murmured Red. "Wait a minute," said Jack. "Seriously, did no one else see what just happened?" "Yeah," said Red. "Pretty cool, eh?" "No," said Jack. "I'm not talking about your new best friend's spider tricks. I'm talking about him having a cozy little chat with an imp up there in the treetops." "What?" asked Red, her eyes wide. Jack nodded. An imp. An imp? Asked Anansi. Where? I've never seen one before. Don't play tricks with me, said Jack. I saw you up there. All the way up there? Asked Anansi. Through those branches? All those leaves? You got good eyesight? Don't you, Jack? I don't know. I know what I saw, replied Jack. I'm sure you think you do, said Anansi, but we all make mistakes. Let me introduce you to your imp. He made a soft clicking noise, and a large, friendly-looking spider crept down the branch of the tree. It was the same blue-gray color as an imp and almost exactly the same size. I did not see that spider up there, insisted Jack. It was an imp. Oh, come on, Jack, said Rapunzel firmly. What would an imp be doing here anyway, unless it could smell your socks, which I know it can. Everyone laughed, apart from Jack. So do you want us to show you around? Asked Rapunzel brightly. My dad is kind of like the king here. So, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 27 seconds, interrupted Hansel and Gretel, both grinning. What are you talking about? Asked Red. That's how long it was since Rapunzel mentioned her dad is the king, explained the twins. Rapunzel shot the two of them a very fierce look. I only mentioned it so Anansi knows that nothing's off limits, she protested. Of course you did, Rapunzel, said Red. Now remind me, which prince was staying at your house last week, and how many horses did he give you? Oh, get lost, exploded Rapunzel, as Red, Hansel, and Gretel burst out laughing. Well, I don't have any horses, interrupted Anansi, and my dad's not a king. He's a miner, but I would still like a tour of your town after I've met with my uncle. Hey, Jack, said Red, your dad's a miner too, isn't he? Yeah, muttered Jack, but I wish he wasn't. Red turned back to Anansi. We'll be in Market Square. Meet you there later? Okay, said Anansi, although I've got no idea where Market Square is. Red laughed. Come on, I'll point it out on the way. There was lots of excited chatter as everyone headed off towards town. Everyone except for Jack. Aren't you coming too, Jack? Asked Red. No, I'd better find Betsy, said Jack. I promised her I wouldn't be long. Okay, see you later then, said Red. Jack watched as his friends walked off into the distance. I don't trust that boy, he muttered quietly. He knew that he was right, but Red and the others hadn't seen the imp. How were they to know that Anansi was lying? And how could he make them see the truth?